Hello everyone, welcome to the Brazilian Grand Prix. This is round 19 of the Race Department PlayStation 4 F1 Championship at Interlagos. Cars making their way out for their qualifying laps. Just me in the booth on my own at the minute. You get to listen to my lovely chicken loving voice. Until Charlie makes an appearance. Not entirely sure who's first out on track. I believe it's the horse. Or Frederick to start his lap. Actually, the lap data is useless. Bring the telemetry up. Running very wide there. Jerry's on a out lap. We're going to see what the first lap time is here. It's a 1 minute 8.8. Alex crosses the line. Well, that's an abandoned qualifying lap from Frederick. His teammate goes second on a 10.0. Hasnain goes second on a 9.8. Ash goes fourth. Make that fifth. Mikey goes second. Guy goes second. So the two Red Bulls quite close together. Oh, we've got a spin down there. Who's that? That's a Williams. And there's the other Williams, quite slow. Cars all over the place. Here comes Martin about to finish his qualifying lap. Where does he go? He goes 10th. Here's Ben to finish his qualifying lap. Where does he go? Oh wow, a 19.5. So that wasn't a representative lap at all. Especially not for him. Jerry's on the lap. Andrea's on the lap. And we've got Drew on the lap. Mitchell, our current championship leader, by the way, is 4th. Sean, the only man that can stop him from winning the championship, is up in 2nd place in 1 minute 9.1. We're going to see where Drew crosses the line. That puts him up to 9th, so that's a decent lap. Got Jerry about to finish his lap, and I think he's the last one to do so because everyone else has pitted already. Jerry about to cross the line. Goes up to 8th. That's a very good lap time. Very good lap time indeed. Quite happy with that. Everybody else in the pits waiting for their second runs. Alex, the only man in the 8th so far. And it's very close behind him. Look at Tom there in 3rd place on a 9.1. 9.1, 9.1, 9.1, 9.2. Very close. The two Red Bulls, like I said, they're half a tenth away from each other. Another 10th back. 0.02 of a second between Jerry and Thomas. But then again, it is Brazil. You do get quite close lap times here. Who is that? That is Martin going out for his second run. I think the drivers are only going to get 2 runs out of this. I mean, the lap times are always going to be quite close together. I mean, it's a short circuit, just 2.6 miles. That's 4.3 kilometers if you're that way inclined. Yeah, Gattis in the other Ferrari has just joined. Whether or not he'll be able to set a lap time, I don't know. Apparently the weather is a dry to wet race, so the race is going to be pretty good. As if the Slipstream Fest didn't really lend itself to that. Bit of a look up there from Martin. Decent through turn 3. Second longest straight on the track. A little lock up again. A little bit wide. Doesn't upset the car that much. Through Ferradura. I would say all the corner names, but I'd probably butcher them, so I'm not going to do that. A little bit of a lock up there, but gets through. And a long drag up the hill. Does he improve his lap time? Yes, he does, but only 1 place. He's up to 12th. That's not going to really do much for him at all. Frederick hasn't started his lap yet. Tom's 3rd. I think he's on a lap, but he's ruined that. Mitchell's about to start his lap. Is there anyone else on an actual lap right now? I don't think so yet. Hasnane's on a lap. Interesting strategy there from the Red Bulls. both of them on the soft tyre instead of the super soft. They're looking to run long because, like I said, it's a dry to wet race, I've been informed. So you definitely want to try and run as long as you can in the first stint, and then try and get onto those intermediates if you can. You want to at least try and make one less stop than anyone else. I'll get a sector comparison for that one from Hasnain. Frederick runs wide and spins in the last corner. That's going to block anyone else's lap for the meantime. Hasnain crosses the line. Does he improve? No, he doesn't. 2 tenths off. Here comes Mikey. I believe he's on a lap. He is indeed. Where does this put him? He doesn't improve either. I think the track's lost a bit of grip. There's Guy. We did have an improvement there. I think from Mitchell goes second. Guy doesn't improve, but he might go again. Oh, Tom with a slippery exit. Ben goes up to 3rd position on a 9 flat. I think Tom might have improved his lap, but didn't improve his position. He's out of it. Here comes Mikey. He's still on a lap. It said it was green. Up to 4th he goes. Good lap from him. Where's his teammate? His teammate's coming out the last corner. No one else really improving. Where does Guy go? Guy finishes 7th. Here comes Ben out the last corner. He's not really in the championship fight, but obviously he wants to get as many wins as he can to end the season. He stays 3rd. Jerry crosses the line, stays 12th, and that, I believe, is it for your qualifying session. It is indeed. The other 2 cars in the pits. Look at that, Sean and Tom. 0.002 of a second between the 2 of them. And then it is a lot closer between everybody else. So Alex starts this race from the pole. Mitchell, our championship leader and champion-elect, starts in 2nd place. Ben starts in 3rd. Mikey starts in 4th. Mikey, remember, is last season's champion. Sean, I think, starts 5th. I think he pretty much realizes now that his run at the championship is over. However, he just needs to make sure that he finishes in front of Ben in this race, because Ben's only a point behind him in the championship. And finally the session is over. But there you go, your top 11 covered by a second. Alex from Mitchell, Ben from Mikey, Sean from Tom, Guy from Thomas, fantastic job there in 8th place. Let's see if he can keep it there, because Haas have done terribly this season. Hasnain from Martin, Andrea from Jerry, Drew, and everybody else. And Frederick didn't set a lap time. We're about to head into the race. Hello Fraser in the chat. Going to be a very interesting start here. Remember, if this was iRacing GT3, all hell is going to break loose at turn 1. But I hope these guys are a bit more conservative than those guys in those races. 334 meter run from the pole to turn 1. Who's going to come out in the lead? We're about to find out as we head onto the grid. We've got 3 laps, we've got 4, we've got 5. And we're away. We've got a bit of contact in the back of the field. Alex with a great start, slots into 1st place. A little bit of contact there in the middle, but I think everyone's just about getting through. I say that we've got yellow somewhere. Ah, we've got brown spun round in turn 3. That's unfortunate. Oh, contact there between one of the Saubers of Gattis, who's already in the barriers. Not quite sure what Gattis is doing in a Sauber, given the fact that he's a Ferrari driver, but I digress. Just looking through the field to see if there's any damage on the cars. Not that I can really see. That's Thomas running a bit wide on the exit of Yunkao. Oh, side by side through there. That's not really something you want to be doing. But Thomas still in the top 10. As he's trying to battle, banging wheels even, with Andrea. Gets through on top. Unfortunately, Thomas down to 14th now. It's not been a great race for him at all so far to start with. That's what happens when you're in the Armageddon section of the race. Drew up to 11th. A little bit of lag going on. The cars are bouncing about quite a bit. Obviously nothing I could do from my end on that. The new Renault driver causing a bit of havoc down there in the back. With oh, and he's made contact with Thomas. That's not with Thomas, sorry. That's with his teammate Frederick. Frederick, who didn't set a lap time in qualifying, actually made up a few places. He was just taken clean out. And the lag has dropped our Renault driver out of the session. Probably for the best. Back at the front, Alex doing a nice job there in the lead. DRS active, of course. Let's see what tyres these guys are on. It's all the same pretty much until 8th place. Martin up 2 places, Jerry up 3. Very good start from him. And for once, nobody's actually had to make a pit stop on the first lap of the Grand Prix. Usually there's about 8 cars in the pits at this point. Mikey doing a decent job staying in there on those soft tyres. As I say that, he's only 2 seconds down. Sean is about to make himself a woolly jumper. As they go into turn 1 from a long way back, contact there between Sean and Mikey. Mikey manages to get through. And Sean's going to try and rape him again. Sean going defensive. Or offensive, should I say. Going to try and switch back on Mikey there through turn 5. It's going to be a brave move. He's going to try and stick it out around the outside there. And he's still there. He should probably give that up, seeing as he drove off the track. And he does so. That's allowing Tom to catch up, and that's allowing Guy also to catch up. Guy, I didn't realise, switched to the super soft tyre on his last run. Oh, very nearly drops it on the exit, on the entry. It's a battle for 8th position. Martin in that McLaren, Jerry in the Force India. Well, I'd skip away for a moment, and Sean's got past Mikey. I can only assume there was a little bit of wheel banging involved in that. Especially given the fact that the last time they crossed the line it was 2-second gap, it's now 4.3. I'll be interested to see that one back. Well, I will have to wait for Mikey's point of view. Got one car out on the mediums, that's Drew. On the mediums, that might be a decent strategy. It's just on the outskirts of the top 10 at the moment. Mikey dropping way back there. Sean running a little deep into turn 1. Is that going to give Mikey a bit of a sniff at him into turn 4? Perhaps. Especially with the DRS. Mikey not close enough. Jerry down the inside of Martin into turn 4. Did they get through there safely? Yes, they did. Drew did not. He's down to 11th, so he obviously made the move up to 10th place across the start-finish straight. And then came a cropper. Side by side the two Williamses. Brown passes Ash for 14th position. Alex must have made a mistake somewhere because Mitchell's blasted right up to the back of him. Top 3 covered by a second. Remember, it is going to rain at some point. So I think these guys are just going to try and settle into a rhythm, otherwise they're not even going to get to that point. Oh, there you go. Sean, once again, getting penalties. I didn't think it was that easy to get corner cuts around Brazil, but apparently it is. Oh, and there's Ash off the road, in the barriers and out of the race. He must have spun that out of turn number, I think it's 7, and just put it straight in the barrier. Yep, knocked the left front off. That brings our retirements down to 3. Up to 3, rather. Yeah, everybody seems to have settled down just a little bit. Like I said, there is going to be a rain intervention at some point. So everybody just probably trying to bide their time until that happens. We are only lap 8 of 36. Mitchell's looking a bit racy. And Ben Pitts already on lap 9. Although to be fair, if I remember rightly, lap 9, 10, 11 is the pit stop window. Let's see how Alex soaks up this pressure. Hasnain and Thomas also pit. That's something I didn't think of. Maybe they did multiple laps on those tyres. I doubt it, but it is possible. Especially with the rain coming. Mitchell certainly looking like a man that wants to win this championship by winning the race. Depends if he pits now. And he does. It's going to be interesting to see where he comes out in relation to Ben, who's already pitted. Guy pits as well, as you can see in the back of the shot. Where's Ben? There's Ben. I don't think Mitchell's able to get him. No, he hasn't. In fact, Ben's actually overtaken Mitchell there. So the undercut works. Alex needs to pit now. Otherwise he's going to come out behind this lot. But then again, they're getting held up with traffic, so maybe he might not want to be that hasty at the moment. Drew moves straight out the way for Mitchell. Oh, Ben! Side by side with one of the Saubers. Oh, I won't go side by side through there! Oh no! Martin lost it coming down there. Of course, a bit of contact with Andrea. There's one of the Williams having to go off in avoidance. Sean has pitted in all of that. Has more contact. What the hell was that? And Frederick's now out of the race. What on earth was that? Unbelievable. Andrea pits for a new front wing. Martin's had to pit for another one. That was all on him. He lost it coming out of Megulo. And yeah, Andrea had nowhere to go. Crashed straight into him. And then I'm not entirely sure what Frederick was thinking. But that is another Haas DNF. Looking at Frederick has DNF'd from the last 5 races. Make this the 6th race he's DNF'd from. I actually think Haas are trying to go for an entire pointless season. Neither driver has scored a point for the team. Ah, I tell a lie. No, Haas have a point. Haas do have a point. Thomas scored in Singapore. He scored a point. That's still only 1 point. His teammate is useless. But anyway. Alex still hasn't pitted yet. Interesting strategy. I think he's trying to just keep out for the rain. But these guys are doing blistering lap times. Ben and Mitchell together on the racetrack doing 11s. I highly doubt that's what Alex is doing. Mikey holding on to second. Tom in third. There's Ben. There's Mitchell. There's Drew. There's Sean. Bearing down on him. Thomas there, very nearly getting into a points position again. He could actually be on for Haas's 2nd point of the season. Just sticking with Ben at the moment. Remember, even if he finished here, Mitchell's still the champion. He literally just has to finish. And at this rate, Ben is going to go up into 2nd in the championship. Sean's finally got up to Drew. Really good action. Don't be stupid and make contact, boys. It's still side by side. Drew has to finally relinquish that place. Had he not done that, there was only one place he was going, and that was onto the grass. That does of course mean he's got DRS, and the rain has started. The rain has started. So that could put Alex in a prime position here, because if everybody has to stop, if he can stretch those super softs, I highly doubt it, but if he can stretch them into the intermediate phase, he might actually be in the pound seat. Same with Drew. Drew's doing quite a nice job there in 7th. Just depends on if anybody So, if anybody set up their cars for a bit of a wet race, they all knew it was going to be wet at some point in the race, so it wouldn't surprise me if they put a bit more wing on the car. As Ben takes third from Tom. Nothing Tom can do about that. His tyres are completely shot at this point. He's been on those tyres since the start. Oh, Mitchell having a look. Now, once I said all he had to do was finish, that doesn't mean that he's going to put himself in a position where he doesn't finish. And Tom rather sensibly lets him have that. Oh, Drew! Oh, Drew nearly taking Guy out as well. With a half spin down at turn 4. He's going to hate me because every time he has a spin or a off or a crash or something, I always seem to end up getting it on the broadcast. So he's now going to have to pit for a new front wing. Here comes Alex into the pits, your race leader. What tyre is he going to come onto? Intermediates. Tom pits as well. Although, to be fair, that's the only choice he can make right now. More yellows. Is it Drew? No, it isn't. It's Andrea. Spinning. What corner is that? That is turn 7, I think. But yes, Drew pits for intermediates. Tom pits for intermediates. Mikey's off the road. Oh, he's got a left rear puncture. Mikey with a left rear puncture. Oh no, he's going to be absolutely furious. Well, I'll give him 10 points for style on that one. That is unbelievable, especially since the guy that he was following Alex and Tom managed to get their super soft tyres to this point. He's on the soft and he gets a puncture. There we go, Alex leads, having made the stop the last lap. Mitchell, Ben, Sean and Guy all pit for intermediates. Tom should, or very well might, pass them all. Oh, please don't put it in the wall. That would have topped it off. As he very nearly does a cool thud and puts it in the barriers. On goes those intermediate tyres. And he's dropped down to 11th place with that as his tyres invisibly moved themselves into the garage. Martin pits. Remember, he stopped a couple of laps ago. Andrea's still on the super soft and goes straight off the road. I have no idea what he's up to. You might want to get on the intermediate tyres, mate. I don't quite get why you're on those tyres. And now we're going to see a visual illustration of intermediate versus super soft in the wet. And there you go. It was as easy as that. Is Hasnain and Drew. Do ignore those Do ignore the tyres that you see on Drew's Mercedes. He's not on the Super Soft. He is on the intermediates, as it says on the timing screen. Mikey pits again, and then gets a penalty for it. Changes his front nose again, so maybe he's crashed again. Down to 13th he goes. His tyres doing some Harry Potter shit in the background. Andrea finally pits. There's the AI driven car of whoever that is. And Andrea pits for wets. Interesting strategy to go onto the wet tyres. Surely they're going to be as good as a... well, as good as useless. Here's Sean attacking Ben, but remember, Sean's got a penalty. A 3-second penalty as he dives for the inside. A little bit of wheel banging. A customary dive bomb from Sean. They get out of that one safe. Just about. There we go. Question is, can Ben stick within the 3 seconds of Sean to negate the fact that he's in front of him? Remember, whilst the championship is pretty much over, this battle between Sean and Ben is very much in full swing. There's only a point between them in the championship. Tom's doing a decent job there in 5th position. As is Guy in 6th. Drew in 7th. And that's a shame for him, because had he not crashed down at turn 4, he would have been he would have probably been at least, he would have been 6th at least. I think that's Andrea in the background getting a lap put on him. It is indeed. He's the only Toro Rosso in the race. Oh, and there's his spinning off the road. Quite clearly the wet tyres are, just as I said, completely useless. They're about as useless as Thomas's teammate in the Haas. Oh, Tom, keep it on the road. And unfortunately, just as is standard in these wet races, the gaps have fallen off a little bit as Andrea spins off again. And this time, for the final time, what is he doing? Yep, there you go, he's left, just as I thought. Wait, did I say Andrea was the only Toro Rosso in the race? I do apologise. He was not, because the race leader, of course, is a Toro Rosso. Mitchell nearly loses it there. And was that Mikey getting a lap put on him? It was indeed. So he goes from a near certain podium to being a lap down. Jerry's starting to close onto the back of Hasnane, who's closing onto the back of Drew. And I do remind you, he is not on the super soft tyres that his car shows that he's on. He's on the intermediates. So this is pretty much the only fight on the circuit at the moment. We do have 13 laps of this race remaining, unfortunately. I only say unfortunately because it means I've got 13 laps of trying to come up with something to say if these guys don't start fighting each other. Well, there's Ben with a penalty, so that sort of ruins that battle. Jerry's just not close enough, not quick enough through that final corner to try and have a go at Hasnane down the straight. Although they are closing up to Drew. Drew was, I believe, 1.5 seconds in front of Hasnane. He's just 9/10. I say that and Hasnane loses half a second in there. So let's see, Jerry's only 4/10 off. I love how the bits and pieces of Ash's car is still on the grass down there at turn 7. Oh, and again, Jerry just took too much curb on that entry to the corner. Ruined his run all the way up the hill. He's getting a little bit of a slipstream, but not much. Certainly not enough to be having a look. As Hasnane runs off the road, just a little bit, dipped the right rear, onto the grass. Gets away with it, because Jerry wasn't close enough. And that's given Drew a nice 2.2 second buffer. Keeping an eye on the gap at the front as well, because I think that's gone down a little bit. 10 laps remain. Oh, and Mikey and Martin having a bit of intimacy down there at turn 2 by the looks of it. Unfortunately, Mikey's also got 23 seconds between him and the next car, so Mikey's pretty much going to be finishing 12th at best. Added to the fact that he is the first one a lap down, and he's actually keeping up with Alex, if not slightly faster. Alex really starting to struggle. Pretty sure the gap was 7 seconds earlier. It's now 4.9. And he is really struggling. So Mitchell's going to be up for this. 10 laps left and the gap is coming down. It's 4.6 seconds this time by. Now 4.5. I don't know, if I was Alex I might want to just let Mikey go at this point. Mikey looks to be the faster car. Certainly under braking. Jay now just 4 tenths behind Hasnain. Not close enough. Especially if he's going to run wide like that. Oh dear, he's cost himself 6 tenths of a second. So that kills that battle. Like I said, the gap continues to drop. 4.2 seconds is the gap now. I mean, I don't think it's closing quickly enough. 8 laps remain. I will keep an eye on that. But I definitely think Mitchell should be doing a bit more than 3 tenths a lap if he actually wants to win this. Oh, and that's Martin running wide. Sensible rejoin. Got to say, Mitchell is very, very smooth. Yeah, I think Alex has upped his pace a little bit there. He only lost a tenth that lap. Gap 4.1 seconds. Ben pits. Another set of inters go on. Interesting strategy. Meh, that's nothing. He should comfortably get out in 5th. But I wonder if that's going to make anyone else think about making another stop. Look at that, gap now 3.7 seconds. Ben gets another penalty. Three and a half seconds. It looks like the rain's got a bit heavier. So this is going to be interesting. Because that does look like it's a bit heavier. Certainly looks like it on board. So could wets actually be a viable strategy at this point? Gap between Mitchell and Alex has actually gone back up to 4.1. Mikey's no longer all over the back of Mitchell, Alex. There you go, Thomas pits. He's going to lose that point. Oh, that was some, what was that I just missed? There was a back marker. There you go, Thomas pits for wets. That's a brave choice. I mean, it does look heavy enough for wets, but is it? From this camera angle, I would say yes! Oh, where was he going? I don't know if Martin was trying to pit or what, but that was a rather odd line to take. Yep, dare I say, the wet tyres are not the one to be on. Keep an eye on that. Yeah. I'd suggest that they are not the tyre to be on. 3.4 seconds now, the gap between the top two. With Sean right behind Mitchell. As they put a lap on Thomas. There are 5 laps remaining of this race. I'm assuming the front guys are just going to try and stick it out. Look at that, the conditions look quite horrible out there right now, but the intermediate tyres are doing very nicely indeed. This battle on your screen right now is essentially your battle for the championship. Even though it's not much of a battle. The gap is 46 points. I think this is a thing of pride for Sean. Sean obviously wants to pass the champion-elect on the racetrack. Even though his time penalty will just drop him back behind him anyway. 3.3 seconds now, the gap. They are closing ever more. Mitchell nearly dropped that. Oh dear, and that's Thomas out of the race into the barriers. That looks like turn 1. He must have had an enormous accident down there. Either that or he's just driven straight into the wall, which is probably my guess. So, once again, the Haas's do not finish and do not score a point. Three laps remain. 3 seconds is the gap between first and second, and then you've got 4 tenths between second and third. And that's Mikey just nicely getting out of the way for the two. Mikey effectively handing the championship over right there. Where's Ben? Ben's down in 5th. Remember, he's got 6 seconds of penalties. So that's gonna drop him... Actually, no, it won't drop him anywhere. Mikey down there in 11th position. He's taking a decent amount of time out of Brown, but nowhere near as enough as he would have wanted. So he's going to finish 11th. Martin's going to finish 12th. Martin, of course, is your last runner. Everybody else is retired. ...198 miles an hour there for Sean down the pit straight. Mitchell looks like he's struggling a little bit. We've got Drew on the back of Guy now, because you've got 2 laps left. See if we can do anything with that. 2.5 seconds now as well. The gap between 2nd and 1st. I think Alex has done just enough to hold on, especially since these two are about to get into a fight in a minute. He just needs to not drop it. As they start the final lap of the race. He's Drew on the back of Guy. There we go, we started the final lap of the race. Quite sure where to look at the moment. I can see Sean trying to move into turn 6. You're going to try and go around the outside of Guy into turn 1. Can't do it. Oh, and there you go. Bit of a switchback and Drew gets the position. We're going to go back to these two because I thought this was going to happen. Oh, they both slide a little sideways. Sean went for the move. And it didn't work. Alex wins a very wet Brazilian Grand Prix. Mitchell takes 2nd. Sean takes 3rd. Tom's going to come across the line in a wonderful 4th place. Fantastic job by him. Ben's going to come across the line in 5th. Here comes Drew with Guy right behind him. Good job there for Drew. As that's Martin out the race, across the line. Did he even make the line? I don't think Martin made the line. No, he didn't. What was that? Martin crashes out before the finish line. That is how close Martin was to finishing this race. That's awkward. pretty sure he's not going to be happy with that. So there we go, and it's conveniently stopped raining on the podium. I don't know why Alex's character is a 40-year-old black man, but there we go. There you go. Mitchell, I should have said, is your world champion of season number 9 of this league. Congratulations to him. It would have been nice to have seen what Michael could have done before, if he had not retired at Singapore. But that's not taking anything away from Mitchell, who's had some very, very good performances this season. So once again, congratulations to him. Sean finishes 3rd, Tom 4th, Ben 5th, Drew 6th, Hasnain 7th, Guy 8th, Jerry 9th, and Brown in 10th. Mikey finishing in 11th position, which certainly is not where he wants to finish. Especially given the fact that we only have one race left this season, which is next time out at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, round number 20, where we get to see the rest of the finishing positions play out. As for the team standings, that's also quite close. Ferrari and Mercedes are very close, 17 points in it going into this round. So I wonder how they're going to do. Who will win? But yeah, it kind of died out towards the... Well, I'd say it died out towards the end. You had a pretty decent race there for 2nd position. But that seems to be the norm when wet races happen in this league. They sort of stretch out a little bit. Driver of the day, I'm not entirely sure who I'm going to give that to, because Alex did quite a good job to win the race. You've got Tom there in a very good 4th place. I think I might have to give it to Alex for just controlling that race. And yes, the next race will be the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, the season finale. Hopefully Charlie will be alongside me in the booth next time out, but just in case he isn't, then obviously I will be. So I will see you then, same time, Tuesday night, for the season finale when the lights go out in Abu Dhabi. So take care, and I will see you all then.